Welcome back for the Love of Baby Boomers show. This is Delores, your host, and today we're talking about short-term rentals. Well, before we go back into that, let me tell you about our Gmail email account. Okay, it's for the Love of Baby Boomers, the number 4, and love is spelled LUV. Please use that email to contact us. Let us know what you think. Give us suggestions on topics. And if you have any questions pertaining to the show on short-term rentals, ask, and I will return and communicate with you. Now, I believe we talked about pets and we went into what you should do when it comes to your room or your house and not being cluttered, making sure that you don't have a whole bunch of your personal pictures and clothes, okay, in your space, because people don't want to be in a cluttered space. Also, the place is in this area, Richmond, Virginia. It's a seasonal money maker. Winter is very hard on short-term rentals. When you rent under Airbnb or VBRO, it's very difficult because people are not vacationing like to go to the beach. They're here for families, and in the winter it's just too cold. So that's when you want to be flexible and creative. Rent your rooms out to people who are working, and you'll make money that way. So open it up to that. And also cleaning. Cleaning can be challenging. It can be done by yourself, or you could hire somebody to do it for you. I did my own cleaning for 3 years, and it helped me as far as exercising, bending, lifting, reaching. So I use that kind of mindset to keep me going. But if you need to go out of town or want to go out of town, it's best to get a backup system, and that's somebody that you hire. I did hire a couple of people, but I am the type of person that I micromanage and I come behind them and clean again. And that doesn't always work. So you have to know yourself. What I also suggest is if you have an Airbnb, a short-term rental, it should be no more than 20 minutes away from where you're living, or away from where your manager that's taking care of the place is living. I say that because of emergencies. If a person gets locked out and it's a key lock in addition to numbers, something like that, or just any kind of other emergency, and you are 2 and 3 hours away, that doesn't work. Your person that's taking care of the place, they should be close as well. 20 minutes, I say, is a good time frame. You need to also make sure you have on staff somebody who can do maintenance for you. If you're not a handy person, hire somebody and make sure that they are reliable and that they also can be there within 20 minutes of the time that you call. When you're renting these places out, you want to look at a maximum and minimum time frame. And why do I say that? Because if a person stays over 30 days, they become month to month. And I know that y'all have all heard some of these horror stories where you can't get rid of people. So you may be thinking of that while you're listening to this. But 28 days is the max that I would rent out to anybody on platform, because I don't want them to be month to month. And then the minimum, if you rent minimum 1 day, then you're cleaning every day or every time somebody comes in. So you could think about that. Do a 3-day minimum. If you travel and you look at these Airbnbs, you'll see places that say 3-day minimum. That's because it gives them a rest from cleaning every day. Okay. So you want to think about these things when you're renting. It depends on what you do. It could be good or bad for you. or for your guests. And you also want to know your market area. You want to know your competition. Get out there and look, go on platform and act like you want to rent a place and see what it costs and see what they offering, what it looks like. A lot of places in Richmond, Virginia don't have parking. So I have parking. Oh, I make that part of my advertisement big time. Free parking. It makes a difference. 15 minutes from downtown. That may be a great thing. It may not for somebody. But that's what you work on. And it's been 3 years that I'm doing this. And I don't believe I mentioned, but I am a super host. I am a super host. Yeah. Woohoo. What does that mean? That means that I've got some reviews that have been good. 5-star reviews, and I've gotten it for a long period of time. They go by every 3 months. They gather your information, and you can stay a superstar if you keep it going for 3 months continuously, or you could get kicked off. And what do you get? You get their service. They take and put your property up front in front of the people, and continuously, so when somebody comes on platform, they're going to see your place. They're going to make sure you up front. Also, if you travel and you stay at an Airbnb, you get discounts. So being a super host is pretty good. It's pretty good. It helps you make money and it helps you save money. But you have to do these things. Cleaning, I go back to that because that can make or break you. And some people are really detailed. They don't want to see dust anywhere. And they'll look under the bed looking for dust. So that's something that you have to keep in mind. And furnishing, that's something to think about. I'll start by saying, keep it simple. Keep it simple and keep it where it's not overly expensive on you. You're going to find that you have to replace things quite often, and you don't want to go overboard and have a place cluttered with furniture. So keep it simple. Go to places. You can go to secondhand stores, go to several places. They have places that sell furnishing from hotels, where the hotels are getting rid of furniture because they're replacing furniture. You could go there and get things for cheap, secondhand, but you don't have to spend thousands of dollars and go in debt to furnish the place. Paint bright and light. Dark paint doesn't work. It doesn't capture the people, most people. And you want to keep it simple, light, and bright. I have learned, I've had many people say, oh, this place reminds me of my grandmother's place. And I'm like, is that good or bad? I don't know. But they were feeling warm and they liked it and they wrote it in the reviews in good ways. So have a theme. Once I realized that it was okay to buy some older furnishing, and as long as it's clean and simple and people liked it, I kept it that way. So you could have a theme. You could make it a theme where maybe everything is blue or everything is characters, whatever. Just make sure it's simple. And that's for the furnishing. And you also want the place to be safe. Just think of yourself. You want to live in a safe place, a place with some security. First thing I did was went and got the bell system, the ring bell or whatever that is. I had somebody hook that up for me, and it works really well. It's on the outside. You can't have cameras on the inside, y'all. I'm just telling you. You don't want to put yourself in trouble, and you don't want to go overboard by checking the cameras every 5 minutes. You just drive yourself crazy, and it's kind of not good. not good. But you do want to have that ring for their security and yours. It is your property, and you want to make sure that people are treating your property good. You want the kind of lock, if you can, where it's a code that you could change between each guest that comes in. You don't want to have using one key and everybody has that key, and who knows how many people have made copies of the key. It's about safety. So you think these three things through and you make it work. So security and safety is really a big thing. And the advertising big time pros such as free parking. I mentioned that earlier. But you also want to advertise the fact that they can rest assured, because it's self-entry. A lot of people want to know, well, do I have to wait for somebody to come to let me in or to give me a key? No, self-entry. So advertise that big time and let them know that they don't have to. They could come in at 12 o'clock at night if they want. They get the code, they enter and get in. So that's a good thing. You also want to be consistent with what you do and with yourself, because it's your place. And if you're consistent, if you're doing the same things consistently and it works, send out letters to people, have a letter that goes out, reminders. Just be consistent, especially when it comes to communication. People love communication. If they don't hear from you, they worry. And then they call the platform. Then they complain. And that's when things start going downhill. Okay. So being consistent, communicating, and communication is one of those things they rate you on. So you want to do that as well. These are a lot of things that you need to do for short-term rentals to be a part of a short-term rentals. There are more. But I would like y'all to think about these things, because it's passive income, but you can make good money. And once you put these things in place, you just flow with it. You just roll with it and make your thousands of dollars. Okay. Did I mention what population rents the place? I think I did. People who are coming into town to go to special events, people who are they come with their boats. That's why with my long driveway that I have for this place, people love it because they come with their boats and they come with their big trucks pulling those boats. So they need a driveway that's going to be able to hold all of that. And they go boating. They come to see their families, family reunions, weddings. So these are the people who are come, or they come for work. I've had people, companies who rent the house because they have a contract with a company like, say, Walmart, where they're cleaning, and they have 3 workers, and those workers could stay at the house and go to work, which is like around the corner within 5 minutes. And when they come, they book for like 3 weeks. And it's wonderful because they usually book again. And if you do good the first time and you communicate and keep it clean, guess what? They're going to book again for next year. And returns are great. So for the love of baby boomers, this is short-term rental. You can find us on Facebook, For the Love of Baby Boomers, or you can email us at fortheloveofbabyboomers@gmail.com.